This is the Mill Hill Building Committee meeting for Tuesday, November 15th. At this time, we have a special guest in the room. Mark's daughter, Amelia, who's actually in the Boy Scouts, is going to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Go ahead. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thanks. That's pretty good. See? That's why I never come with your father to work. All right. We're ready to go. First, second item, approval of mini minutes from 10/18. Any edits, any corrections, anything needed from anyone on the building committee? All right. Hearing none, it's been approved. Item 3, project update. Rob.
Thanks, Jason. Yeah, so not much update for this month. We've been demobilized and basically complete with all the contract work. The only thing we did do last week, and we're working through, is just checking a couple items with Sal regards to the bathrooms. They had a couple odors, so there were a couple of things we cleaned up and tightened up and repaired by the gang bathroom, in the kitchen bathroom, and then a vent for an existing vent for the bathrooms by the boiler room. And the last thing we're doing is we're just checking some things down by the library bathrooms. But kind of minor little items, basically smoke testing, making sure that there's no escaping of the smoke test through the existing vent system and through the new vents. And then if we find anything, we just address it. Well, other than that, no update.
Any questions for Rob? I need to give another update to that update. Talking to the town is very comfortable in taking control of the school before the year is out. Obviously, with the exception of some landscaping, which we could talk about in item 5. But as of right now, the town, I am planning to go in front of the Board of Education on their December meeting to officially tell them that the town has accepted the school, with the caveat of the money we set aside for landscaping, if it's approved, obviously. And that way the town can take control basically on the inside and most of the outside and things like that. Is there any questions or problems for any member of the committee at this time on that statement?
I think that makes sense, Jason.
The only thing would be just budget-wise, we are, because we do have a submission here, we should be good in terms of that. Is there any concerns or anything like that?
There is no concerns. Whatever work is being done is the little stuff that's covered. There's no money changing hands as far as future invoices at this time. If after tonight, after we approve the invoice, we are on budget, we are going to return some money to the town. We believe once during the next few months, we're going to start reconciliation and looking at all the money that's going to be coming back for things that weren't spent on or vendors returning money and things like that. The $25,000 or $20,000 that, if it's approved, is only to be used for landscaping. And if it's not used by a specific date, we're going to return it back to the town or put it back into the kitty, which then at that time I will go to the Board of Selectmen to dismiss the building committee in 2023. So the way it looks like right now, if the town takes the school in December, we won't necessarily need to meet at all in 2023, except possibly for the last meeting to either approve landscaping and or any outstanding invoices or any outstanding invoices that may come up. and that's basically it. And, of course, the vote on disbanding the committee.
Mark Schweitzer, I'll jump in. There's probably going to be, knowing Gilbane, there's one sub that still has money out, so they're probably going to look to close them January, February, and then whenever we close the project. So there'll probably be a meeting in January or February, and then one at the end when we dissolve.
So technically, we'll still have a committee, but not necessarily meeting every month, and until spring, and then figure out if the money is needed for landscaping or not.
Okay. And Mark, when are you dispersing retainages? Like, because I see that you have like a 5% retainage.
We're going to do that. The majority of the subs are going tonight. We'll be releasing retainage on the majority of the subs except for one or two tonight.
So the 5% on Trace 134 retainage from Gilbane's rec. So that, yeah, just can you reconcile that with when you're saying?
Well, the
Mark, you want to so just quickly, the 134 is for the final trade contractor that we have reviewing the couple items in the bathrooms. So we have like $110,000 on that one contractor, and then I think the balance is like on the Gilbane fee. So I think there's like $25,000 on Gilbane.
Yep.
Okay, so it's accounted, and so it's a little. All right, it sounds good actually.
Before we break up, before I go in front of the Board of Selectmen to finalize everything with them in the spring, we'll meet one more time. You'll get the final numbers, what the total spend is, what's going back to the town, and so on and so forth. So if we do it right, we'll know by March what needs to be done, if anything needs to be done as far as landscaping. And we are going to do a final, not necessarily a final walkthrough, but one of the final walkthroughs with the town and Gilbane through the school in December, just to confirm everything before we go in front of the Board of Education. Any questions off of that? All right, next item, approval of invoices. Mark?
We have the invoice packet out there. There's a bunch of them, but let me blow this up. There is the Gilbane invoice 33 for, which should be October 31st, 2022, of $333,954.87. And then we have 6 Silver Petrocelli invoices. These were approved back in December, or back in September, I should say. And they didn't go to full committee, but because they were under the 20, but the town has asked us to put them in front of the committee for approval. Then there's the Colliers invoice for October. Walt Stapleton, who is the stormwater monitor. This is basically his fee for his services for the year to date of $1,000. AB Mechanical is the subcontractor that the school brought in. This would probably be back charged to, well, this is why we have money on Ferguson. We're holding money on Ferguson because this potentially could be back charged to them. And then WB Mason, this is for the work in the library, the circulation desk, and the new shelving units that went in there. We held back $1,000 on their invoice for the for the shelf backing. So to cover that, that is more than plenty if we need to cover anything. If we have to buy them ourselves, that the $1,000 will more than cover those. So the total invoice packet is $405,029.33.
At this time, I'd like to have a motion to open for discussion and to voting on these invoices. Do I have a motion?
Norm, so moved.
Second?
Melanie, I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? Abstentions? Any questions for Mark on any of the invoices? I would like to make a statement saying that we approve the invoices pending the change of the date on the Gilbane for $333,000 to reflect 10/31, not 1/31. And when they send us an updated,
No, that's me.
that's on you.
Yeah, it's correct on. It's correct.
The reputation is correct.
It was just on this.
Okay.
That I missed it.
All right. Never mind. Any questions for anything on the invoices?
Just the usual question, all expected on budget, nothing unusual in any of these?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thanks, Mark.
The Silver Petrocelli invoices were actually approved at the last meeting. Before that, for some reason, the town pushed it back recently. And, it's not fair for them. It has been approved, but they wanted it approved again. And I will personally follow up with the town if it's approved tonight.
Yeah, I guess the only question for Mark on that, that basically closes Petrucci, right? The contract.
Correct. There's a little bit of money left on them, but a lot of it is the ad services that weren't done. So we'll need to close the contract on them, but it essentially closes the contract out. Yes.
Yeah. So this was change order. This was add-ons for the extension. Yep. Okay.
And like Mark said, we're going to hold back $1,000 off WB Mason to complete some work. Any other questions? Any other questions on the invoices? Hearing none, I'd like to call the vote. All in favor of approving all the invoices mentioned tonight, signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Abstention? Okay. Sorry?
No, I'm sorry. There's a distraction.
Okay. No worries. Invoices have been approved. Next item, approval of proposals. Mark? Oh, is that me?
That's you.
All right. So based on what we know the town wants, the question now remains, we set aside $25,000 to address any potential landscaping issues in the spring, or that the town and actually Gilbane will decide if it's needed in the spring because of the drought and reseeding and replanting and stuff. The number came out was what the town and Gilbane kind of recommended. I upped it an extra $1,000 just in case because we don't know what the cost of things could be then. And obviously this would just be used for landscaping, and that's it. And what we would do is set a time. I would assume I would like to set a for that for the end of March to use up. If not, we just put it back into the town. Is March realistic, or should we wait until snow's no longer on the ground, kind of?
I think you gotta wait longer.
You want to go longer?
Yeah, playing season
Yeah.
not till June.
Yeah, wait till the school year's over.
You want to wait till the school year? Okay. Why don't we say we'll hold it till the end of June, unless the town and Gilbane find it acceptable prior to that, and then obviously I'll have to call a special meeting for it to do it. There's objections with that? Wait till the end of June?
Can we do it subject to that so that you don't need a special meeting? If they approve it before then?
Yeah, well, if they approve it before then, we're going to approve it now, right? If they approve it before then, we can move forward and do what we have to do. But if they say, hey, we don't need to use the money at all, then I'll do a special meeting and tell you, and then we can approve the school in its entirety and agree to dismiss the committee, and then I'll go in front of the BOS.
Okay.
We still have to have
All
a meeting to officially
Right.
dismiss our committee. So we can do that. Any questions? We good? Any other comments?
Well, for Gerald's sake, let's vote on holding 25 back
Yep.
for landscaping.
So I'm asking now tonight for a motion to vote and to approve the building committee to hold back $25,000 to be used only for landscaping purposes at Mill Hill, and we will hold the money until the end of June or until the disbandment of the building committee.
Hey, it's Melanie. I just have one quick question. Last month we had talked about adding an additional for some landscaping. That 25, I thought was 35. Am I wrong? Because the reseeding was an estimate of 25, correct?
I think we had it at 25, always.
So then we need more. Is that what you're saying, Melanie? Just in case?
Yeah, we had just said that since that I had gotten some feedback that the front of the school looked a little bit barren, that perhaps we could use some resources to, make some enhancements to the front of the school with the additional money that was left over. I thought we kind of agreed upon, I'll say $10,000. I'd like to make a motion to withhold $35,000 back, assuming that we would potentially have to use $25,000 for the reseeding.
I'll second that. Then you'd have 25 for the reseeding and 10,000 as a contingency. So
correct.
Yeah, that sounds good. If that's possible.
Norm.
Sorry. Yep. Norm.
Is there any questions or comments off of that? Rob from Gilbane, anyone else? We're okay to do that? Are they still on the call?
Yeah, I'm still on the call. Yeah, I mean, you should have enough. And Mark, I'm assuming you have enough to cover that. We're giving back some money that'll cover that. So
yeah,
you should be good financially.
Okay. Then in that case, I call to a vote then that the Mill Hill Building Committee withhold $35,000 only for the usage of landscaping, and hold that money until the end of June and or until the dismissal of the building committee.
That works. That's a mark.
All right. Do I have do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion, Melanie.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor, signify by saying aye.
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 All opposed? Abstentions? Okay, it's been approved. Item number 7, in honor of Harry Act. No, 6. Oh, item number 6, approval of 2023 committee schedule. I was at the time, the town wanted us to actually have physical dates to do. But after talking to Sal and stuff and seeing how the calendar looks, I think it's just better to do special meetings because I think we'll have one for invoicing in February, March, and then potentially nothing until the end of June. If you want to put specific dates, we can just do the third Tuesday of every month like we have now. What's easier or what's better for you guys, let me know.
We can keep the third Tuesday on the books and then cancel as needed.
Okay. 6:30?
Sounds good to me.
All right. Then I have a motion to vote on the date, the 2023 being the third Tuesday of every month at 6:30. Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion, Melanie.
Seconded by Norm?
Yes.
Okay. All in favor of the third Tuesday of every month in 2023 at 6:30, having our meeting, signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Abstentions? So passed. And the last item, in honor of Harry Ackley, I'd like to make a motion to adjourn.
Second. Norm.
Very good. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All right. Thank you much. Have a wonderful Thanksgiving, everyone.